Hey guys, good evening, good evening, good evening. I'm super excited to be on your screen once again, and today is going to be quite interesting. So, thank you so much for joining us. Please do well to drop where you are streaming from in the comments below, and just introduce yourself. My name is Days. I'm streaming from so states. If you are watching from Nigeria, I'm streaming from the United States. I'm streaming from the UK. Wherever it is you are streaming from, let me know your name and where you are streaming from in the comments below. And secondly, please make sure you invite as many as possible to join today's live stream because it's going to be quite an interesting session, and we are going to be discussing exploring the future of decentralization and opportunities and challenges, right? So before we dive right in, please let me know where you are streaming from in the comments below. And as usual, I have a guest speaker which I'm going to be bringing to the screen in the next few seconds. So it's going to be the one that is going to take us on how the things we've got to know, right, about decentralization, the opportunities that revolves around it, as well as the challenges, right? So do well to comment where you are streaming from in the comments below. Kindly comment where you are streaming from. Comment where you are streaming from. So I'm going to start by introducing myself. My name is Emmanuel Jacob, the founder of Digital Swap. Then I'm going to be your host for today's live stream. I'm streaming from Ekiti, Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria. So what's your name and where are you streaming from? Drop it in the comments below. Drop it in the comments below, and do well to share this live stream with your family and friends. Post it across social media platforms. Post it on Facebook, WhatsApp, Telegram. Post it on Facebook groups. Share the link to your friends and invite every single person to come and learn about the opportunities that revolves around the decentralized space, as well as the challenges, right? So because if you get to know the opportunities that revolves around a particular space, you are going to be able to know how to position yourself in order to make use of the opportunity. And if you also know the challenges, you will also know how and what to do in order for you to be able to avoid the challenges, so that you are going to stay afloat irrespective of whatever it is you might be facing. So let me know where you are streaming from in the comments below. I'm still waiting for your comments. Comment where you are streaming from. Comment where you are streaming from in the comments below. So I'm going to be bringing our guest speaker quite soon. So please let me know where you are streaming from. Let me know where you are streaming from. Let me know where you are streaming from. Where are you streaming from? What's your name and where are you streaming from? Kindly drop it in the comments below. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to bring our guest speaker to the screen. All right, so good evening, Mr. Sheyi. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation. Thank you for
Hello,
joining
good
us
evening.
today.
Good evening. Nice to have you. Thank you for having me, actually. And I hope you've been good.
Yeah, I am. So I know you are the CEO of Dexfiat, right? And I want you to tell us what Dexfiat is all about, and what problems are you guys solving in the crypto space.
Okay, awesome. Uh, Dexfiat is actually a person to person payment gateway. One of the major challenges we have in Africa has been the issue of cross border remittance or on ramping and off ramping. Basically, the cross border remittance challenge has not been solved. I still spoke with a friend that's trying to do a cross border transaction, trying to send funds from US to Nigeria few days ago. It was really, really tedious. And this is basically because of the regulatory issues and the limitations of banking structures in different countries and different regions. So, understanding that as much as cross-border fund transfer and the intercontinental fund transfer is kind of limited, but intra-country, that is within a country, transfer of fund is actually quite adoptable from different regions. So we're trying to leverage on that, maybe to facilitate on-ramping for businesses and individuals. So Dexfiat, in summary, is a P2P payment gateway for individuals and businesses.
All right, that is super amazing. So you mean if, for instance, I want to send money to someone, I can use Dexfiat. Like if I want to send money to another person, is that basically what it is? Or um, I think you need to
So,
make that more clearer
okay,
because
good. Like I said, P2P, it's peer-to-peer, person-to-person. So with Dexfiat, we have a P2P payment gateway. We have a an OTC deals, like an OTC marketplace where users can easily get to interact in transactions, be able to sell, you can sell your
okay.
crypto assets. Now, with that liquidity, because I've been in the space for over 7 years, right, and we get to have access to those major players in their old OTC deals, right? So bring your liquidity and Dexfiat, exchanging your trades. Now we can leverage on that network to be able to giving you the best deal as a seller, and also you as a best as a buyer, you get to have the best deal on Dexfiat. Now leveraging on that OTC liquidity, we're able to use that to settle businesses all around the globe. So our focus is actually cross-border funds. I mean, not intra country is good, but let's say you are as a freelancer, you work in Nigeria, your company is paying you in dollars. You probably have to open a dollar account in, let's say, US, but you want your money in naira. You can easily give them your Dexfiat link. They pay you through Dexfiat link, and you get your naira in your bank account. And if you want it in crypto, you can also get it in crypto. So that's the beauty of Dexfiat.
Wow, 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 wow. That is super amazing. I mean,
I
that
forgot to
is
add
very
something. So there's
yeah.
this.
You can
The beautiful thing about Dexfiat is we are given the power to the users. The people are the one in control of the money. We are non-custodial. You can easily connect your non-custodial wallets like Trust Wallet, MetaMask to Dexfiat and do your transaction and it's great like that. So we are non-custodial. We don't hold user fund. We only help you. We are the bridge in between the traditional finance system and the decentralized finance system.
Wow, that is quite beautiful. So, okay, I think let me try to explain it. I mean, DexFiat is a platform where you can trade your cryptos, and unlike Binance, where you will have to use funds from your wallet, from your Binance account, with DexFiat, all you have to do is to connect your Web3 wallets like Trust Wallet and MetaMask and every other crypto wallet that is decentralized, and you could be able to trade with each other and get fiat. I think I'm correct, right?
Yes, actually, yeah, that's it in the summary.
Okay, that is beautiful. All right. So in today's topic is exploring the future of decentralization, the opportunities, and the challenges. So um, uh, I like you to how do I put it, to put more light on how we could be able to explore the future of decentralization as well as the opportunities and the challenges that is involved.
Okay, I've been saying it recently because if you study the major tech brokers, the major complaints that are breaking financial system right now. Let's say even outside financial, let's say logistics, Twitter, that's in social communication, in logistics like Uber, Bolt, and marketplace. You realize that the future of anything is decentralized. And we have got to realize with the advent of Bitcoin, we've got to realize that users really want they want to have control over their funds. They're going to give the government control over their funds. Yeah, they have the leverage to also be able to give government over their, I mean, government control. But mostly, majority of the user actually want to have control over their privacy and the fund, and that is what brings about the decentralized nature. So the future of things is actually decentralized because we actually came from that decentralization into a centralized model. But I think there's this flaw in democracy uh, that makes it unrealistic in a way. But we have solutions to it. Like even with Dexfiat, our goal is to ensure that we want to be the first, want to be the pioneer for to bring about the regulation of a decentralized model. I mean, regulating a decentralized platform in a decentralized model. So there are ways to actually get that done, which are things we are also looking into. And I think most people really get this misconception about decentralization. Decentralization is not only about you giving custody. It's all about. It's not about you not people not users not having control over your information. It's about the funding aspect, especially when it comes to cryptocurrency. So you can be decentralized, but because of user protection and fund protection, especially when it comes to money laundering and anti-money laundering regulation to protect users, there might be a need for KYC or probably mild KYC, not fully KYC. But the decentralized nation is still there in the sense that you are the one in control of your money. You can decide to do whatever you want to do. Nobody can freeze your assets. Nobody can freeze your fund. It is your money to control. So the opportunities are there for businesses. I think one of the major thing about decentralized platform, yeah, okay, I'm going to go to difficulty. One of the beautiful things about decentralized platform is that anybody can come on board to connect. Anybody can come on board to do anything. I mean, it is open to all, unlike the centralized model where you need to go through a certain regulatory body. You need to get a license. You need to get a broker. Especially when it comes to crypto trading, you need to get a broker. Or with the centralized platform, you don't need anything. You only just come there, connect your wallet, and do your trades. When you're done, you move your money. You can. It's you're basically the one in control of the money. So decentralization, the future of decentralization is actually giving user control. If you look at the Gen Z generation that we're seeing, most of them actually want to be they want to be in the control model. Like they're the one in control of their funds, they're the one in control of their this thing. Even when it comes to work, they're like, I don't want to go to work. I want to work from home. They want to be in control, and that's these are the future generations, right? So if you look at this future generation, if you look at the characteristics, you realize that their mindset and the model is decentralized. So having a product that is tailored towards that future is really a game changer for anybody that is actually doing it. Because I've actually seen business coming on board right now, building a decentralized model, decentralized logistics. You see OPay making decentralized banking. OPay also decentralized transportation with Uber and Bolt. We have that of logistics. I think a friend of mine is actually working on Traveler. That's decentralized logistic and uh, what's called movement of packages. And we have the what's the name Airbnb. That is it's a decentralized home services, more like a rental services for homes. So everything is actually going decentralized. It actually give everybody opportunity to be able to be part of the global financial system or global um, financial economy, basically. So actually give everybody access to be able to do that. So, one of the things that, especially most people that are probably, let's say, Bitcoin maxis, they're like, they don't want to go with probably putting on their control, the phone control with the government, and they don't want KYC. And it's like, yes, which is in a way, quote. And I think that is one of the reasons why we are developing the ZK zero knowledge proof to actually ensure that you are the one in control of your own privacy as well. So you can decide to give it to whosoever you want to. So that is one of the things that the future is actually bright for decentralization. One of the major challenge we have, I would say, is the probably the fraudulent issues. But the thing is, the fraud comes I mean, the same fraudulent issues that we have on the DeFi space also exist in the traditional finance space, even way more. I mean, money laundering is being carried out in the decentralized ecosystem more than it's carried out in the traditional ecosystem more than the decentralized ecosystem right now because even when it comes to crypto, when it comes to the blockchain, you can easily track you. So most money launderers don't really want to come to crypto to use crypto because if as long as you're going to move your money out from crypto to fiat, then you can be tracked. That's the fact. As long as you can be tracked, they can easily pick you up. So that's like one of the major things for me. I don't know if I've gone off board from what the question is, but
No, not
thank
at
you.
all. Thank you so much for that. So, to our viewers out there, please, in the course of this session, please do well to get your writing materials and put down some stuffs. And we are also going to give you an opportunity for you to ask questions. So, yeah, if you are not able to follow up, you will not be able to know where you need to ask questions. So, kindly make sure that you are taking down some points and prepare your questions as we are going to be giving room for that. All right, sir. That was quite elaborate and concise. So I'd like you to tell us. Here comes the next question. How is the decentralized reshaping traditional industries and business model?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
How is decentralization reshaping traditional industries and business models?
Okay. It is there's quite an interesting aspect, even though we understand that the traditional industry or traditional finance sector are not yet educated or not yet open to adopt the decentralization for now. Because yes, the thing is, when we go decentralized, the governments are kind of centralized. Let's say the feds are centralized. They want to be in control. I think World Economic Forum are these quotes, you own nothing and you'll be happy. That's their model, that's their goal. That is, they want to own everything, they want to be in control of you and your funds, and they want you to be happy with that. Right. So we have this challenge where the traditional finance system are not really we're adopting or they're trying to find a way to ensure that they are not losing that power, the grip of power. Because when it comes to decentralization, it's not that it's giving power to the people. So it isn't, and the only way the traditional industries and businesses can easily adopt uh, the decentralized model is by, I mean, they can really have impact is by adopting it. So you have to adopt for you to, you need to be, you cannot be outside the house and get to know what is going inside the house. You need to come into the room to get to know what's going on in the room. That's the thing that works. So it is quite for, I think because I said initially I said decentralization is basically the future. So any business or model that is not really adopting that model of decentralization is more or less not looking into the future. It's like the advent of when we're still using horses and chariots as a mode of transportation. Those that were in the horses business and those that were into carriage business are like they are very happy and like yeah, this is money making business. And few of them did not pivot from the chariot system into the transportation, the automobile system. So most of them actually get left behind. That's one of the things about decentralization. So decentralization is actually getting to reshape the model. I mean, we get to have the Nigeria government coming on board with the blockchain policy for startups that actually enables uh, startups and businesses to be able to adopt and build on the blockchain. That's basically saying we have a government that tends to see the future and they don't want to miss out of this future. Then they have to bring up regulatory bodies and regulatory models that really would help businesses. Because for me, one of the reasons why people don't really adopt decentralization or adopt regulation per se, or did not want to adopt regulation, is because the major players we have in the regulatory bodies are kind of corrupt. They basically do it for themselves or do it not basically for the people. And the major goal for regulation is to protect the user. So we tend to have these government bodies not using that to protect the user, but for their own selfish interest. So the future is decentralized, like I said, and businesses and governments that tend to see the future or tend to see what the prospect of how global the blockchain is and how global and how the opportunities abounding in blockchain, like the voting system, manufacturing, farming, and several other things that we can easily use the blockchain for. It's really for them to be able to adopt and be able to see, provide a platform where businesses can really come in to uh, to take advantage of it. So in reshaping the future, I think that was yesterday. The first day was when we had the model in Nigeria, where the blockchain act that help startups and businesses to be able to adopt blockchain or build on the blockchain. So that is actually a very major, groundbreaking step, a major, huge step for the Nigerian government to be able to say they are providing uh, access and ecosystem for businesses to thrive. So, and I see, I see them building a platform, a foundation. That is, if it's well used, that's the thing. It's all about being well used. It is because Nigeria, for Nigeria, we have rules, we have regulations, but we don't have enforcers. That's our major issues. We have the rules, the good ones, but we don't have people that enforce it. So if it's not well enforced, then we're going to be lacking behind. That's the thing for Nigeria. So in reshaping the traditional industry, decentralization is like a mover. I think we tend to experience that during the NSAS protest. Is a mover that cannot be put aside. So for as you as a business or a startup or an existing business, I would advise to tap into technologies like blockchain or that would allow users to be able to adopt the use of a decentralized model. Like say users already have fund in their non-considered wallets and they want to spend on a platform at the marketplace. You can actually, I'm actually, this is a business idea for anybody that's actually probably in this space already. You already have a business, you can create a model for you to be able to receive crypto. Then I think that is where the adoption and acceptability. I mean, even breaking the barriers of breaking the border barriers within several regions. So that's it for me. Thank you.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for that. So, one of the points that stood out for me is that if people fail to embrace maybe a particular opportunity, that they are going to be left behind, just like maybe people that were into horse and they refused to maybe they refused to evolve to the new transportation system. So, yes, so I have another question, and the question is what are the key opportunities that decentralization offers innovation and disruption?
Awesome. Um, Opportunities abound, right? Yeah. So we talk about, I think the opportunities abound. It now depends on the users, or depends one on the business, and also depends on the solution providers. So it's good for its opportunities are well around us, but the thing is, like, okay, we in 2021 we tend to have a lot of people jumping into the blockchain ecosystem. They feel like, oh, the DJs are jumping in because they see their friend making money. So they feel like, oh, this is an avenue for me to really make money. So a lot of people jump into it trying to, oh, I want to, because my friend invested $10,000 and he was able to cash out $3,000. That's a very huge opportunity. Let me jump into it. So a lot of people actually get come into it because of information. So the decentralization actually offer a lot of opportunities for those that are ready to provide solutions, like say developers, uh, content writers. I mean, it's opened up a new phase of work, a new phase of business model. Like, okay, we currently have somebody in my team in Dexter that what she studied was medicine, was medical related courses when it finished. And after NYC was when she spoke to me and she's like, "If learning about blockchain, how do I tap into it?" And I just explained what blockchain is to her, give us some resources to go and read about. And from there, she get into the blockchain system and she started creating her first content she created was really, really mild. So now, from somebody moving from the medical field into the tech field. You don't really have to be a developer to be in tech anyway. To the tech field is actually a very good thing. And I think one of the major things that decentralization brings is breaking the borders, right? With decentralization and a decentralized model, even the blockchain itself, we now get to have Web3 businesses and Web3 companies that anybody from around the world can get. So, like I was wearing Harmony shirt before, earlier because I worked for Harmony last year. Work for Harmony while in Nigeria is actually a very big thing. Like you're earning in dollars, you're in Nigeria, it actually expand this earning opportunity. Like let's say in Nigeria earning about let's say $400 per month or 1,500, 3,000, $10,000 per month. In Lagos, Nigeria is actually a big gap, I would say. So in terms of monetary aspects, it brings a huge opportunity. In terms of disruption, in terms of global disruption, brings a huge opportunity. In terms of let's say corruption, yeah, I think one of the major things we have in Nigeria is one of the main challenges is corruption, right? And we everybody experienced what happened in the last election and how we are unable to the whole election was rigged. If the INEC body was actually done on the blockchain, which is a live voting, not like you vote, you have to go and record it on the blockchain. Like as your voting is being recorded on the blockchain, the live voting, it will have actually disrupt and cut off all the old challenges that had to come with rigging and the likes. So that's like one of the major things decentralized model can really bring using the blockchain. Because yeah, the major core features of decentralized, the major devolution of the core concept of the blockchain is decentralization. That's the Web3. So if we're talking about decentralization, then we're talking about the blockchain. So we cannot talk about decentralization without mentioning blockchain. So building a project or building a business model on the blockchain actually make it easy for individuals and businesses to be able to leverage and even also be able to leverage, let's say, the AI or leverage all the emerging technologies that are really coming about. Because with the now, I don't want to go into the challenges of probably artificial intelligence anyway. But let me just stop it at the benefits of decentralization. I would say so. The benefits is all about. It's not. I think at the beginning of the year, the church I attended was like, you have to see it. The pastor was saying you have to see it to be able to make it. It's actually in the Bible as well. Like before you can say you want to create something, you must be able to imagine it. So if you can't see the opportunity, if you can't see the future, if you can't see potential of what decentralization can be, then you cannot really be able to put something on it. So it's all about being open enough to see the opportunities in the space. So in the financial system, we are set to actually disrupt it. We are already disrupting with with the DeFi model. Then we have the manufacturing ecosystem, we have the farming, the agricultural ecosystem, we have the electoral ecosystem, we have the real estate and housing ecosystem. That I mean, it's quite huge. Those are places, and when it comes to decentralization, we are already disrupting with the
Uh, so sorry, guys. I think
even when it comes to
it's ne-
education, those are places where hello, was that my network or yours?
I think it's yours. I
Oh, so
don't know.
sorry about that. So sorry about that. Okay, I think I'm back now though.
Yeah, you are.
Okay, good. So it's all about saying the industry. So you have to know the industry you are, the industry you want to go to be able to venture. So I really cannot say, except probably you tell me your background or what your interests are in, and I can tell you the industry you should focus on, an industry you can actually go to adopt and benefit from the possibility of the blockchain and the decentralized model it brings. So we have real estate, we have manufacturing industry, we have it in electoral industries and several other industries like that.
All right. Thank you very much for that. So we have two questions and we are good. to call it a wrap. Then to our viewers out there, if you have any question, please, it's time you start dropping your questions in the comments below, and our speaker is going to help us with the question. Right. So here's the question: what are the main challenges and the obstacles in implementing decentralized system on a large scale?
This is actually quite interesting because it is a problem I faced myself while developing Dexfiat, right? I think one of the thing it was in the process of developing Dexfiat, I get to realize that it's a span decentralization and let's say if you, decentralization basically, or let's say the traditional finance system and decentralized finance system is actually a spectrum. So you can either decide to go to one, either go fully decentralized or go fully uh, non-decentralized, or you have meat in the middle where you get to blend it. So there are a lot of challenges and obstacles that have to do with implementing because we had to pivot the experts where we're developing because the challenge we faced in the process of I think we're going to launch for last year before June. That was in May, and we that was when we got to meet this. No, that was in June. Yeah, we got to meet this roadmap in which the model I designed initially was going to work, but we now realize it's going to be quite expensive, which brings about the cost. So when it comes to developing a decentralized or implementing decentralized system on a large scale, even on a small scale, maybe on a small scale, on a large scale, basically when you have to do with external users, it can be very expensive. That's the thing. I mean, that's we had to now we pivoted from what we initially designed into a new model for us to actually be able to say yes, we are going with this. So the cost of development is one thing. It can be very tedious. Now the other major challenge is the technological know-how of people around because it's quite a new space. It's a new ecosystem. Most developers and most people are not really that very familiar with solving, even understanding it and probably solving the challenges around decentralization. So for me, I had to go to study blockchain even with IBM, get certified with IBM to be able to learn more about decentralization and even about the blockchain before I could say I want to start developing a product on the blockchain. So the challenge of lack of education is one. The challenges of cost is another thing. And another major challenge that almost every country has been facing right now is adoption and the complexity, let's say user friendliness of the product and adoption. And that's one of the things we are getting to look at in Dexfiat, which Dexfiat is decentralized. We don't need to tell you it's decentralized. Yours is just to come and use it. If you want to probably validate, we have a smart contract you can get to audit, check it out and see how it runs and like stuff like that. So what most developers don't really get to understand is that users are not interested in probably if your product is decentralized or if it's not considered. As long as it works, so it works. So if it works, people are going to use it. That's the way it works. So that's the goal. So in terms of education, in terms of cost, in terms of technological know-how, we still have major challenges in implementing a decentralized model. Another challenge is that I have to do with regulations and country adoptions. We've been having issues with US and coming up. I mean, basically say US doesn't really know what they want to do when it comes to adopting blockchain or adopting even cryptocurrency right now because they just keep going off and on trying to I read the news about the SEC coming from Filecoin that was Filecoin is security stuff like that, and it's even trying to say Ethereum is the security. Now Ethereum is now pivoted to be making it more centralized than ever before. That's like one of the things. So the challenge with the players in the ecosystem because there's this challenge that comes with uh, democracy because decentralization is like democracy. So there's this challenge that comes with democracy, which is the person with the loudest voice, even when you're saying the wrong thing, you can be very as long you can be saying the very worst thing or the wrong thing, but as long as you have the highest votes, you can get to implement you can get to push your agenda. That's like one of the things. You're able to convince a lot of people, even when you're wrong. You can get to push your agenda. That's one of the major challenges that comes with decentralization. Because I was part of Harmony DAO, and I understand exactly what I'm talking when we're talking about the person with the loudest voice and the challenge with democracy. So it's something I experienced firsthand. So one person can easily come up and say, this is what he wants, this is it. And if he has a louder voice and it's probably able to collect people to follow him up, then he's going to bring his action to play. So that's like one of the major challenge I see with decentralization to I'm bringing into play because if people can accept, I think we have some DAOs. I mean, the way to control a decentralized model is through a decentralized autonomous organization. That's a DAO. So if you're bringing up a DAO that would help us to fix that challenge, yes, if now a DAO that is also well regulated, not just having anybody on the DAO. I mean, we have DAOs that even the players in the DAOs can even get to implement whatever they want if when the community are not even coming on board well. So sometimes listening to the community is very important. Sometimes having a DAO that understands what is meant to be done is also very, very important. So that's like one of the major things that we need to look into as major challenges that have to do with decentralization from my own point of view. There are a few other ones, but I will not want to take most of our time. But I think these are the major ones that have to do with decentralization for now. And we can also get to look into that and fix them. Basically, coming up with better structure, better regulatory structure for the DAO and also for the community or project as a whole.
All right. Thank you so much. So here comes the very last question for this session. And if we are going to have subsequent questions from our viewers, then you take it. But if there is not going to be any, then this is going to be all for the day. So the question is, what are the potential risks and security considerations associated with the decentralized networks?
Okay, so decentralized network is quite as much as it's very innovative and very interesting for people to maybe adopt. Uh, the challenge with a decentralized model is that you are the one in control of your finance. You are the one in control of your funds. I've actually had my wallet infiltrated before. That was my fault. And I have a YouTube channel where I get to teach people about crypto, how to trade, think analysis on that's on Crypto Smart Analyst on YouTube. Now there's this mistake I made while doing my editing. I mistakenly I think it was nanoseconds. I mistakenly exposed my private key to my wallet. Mistakenly, I didn't even know until I think after like a year plus when I checked my wallet and like my phone was gone. That was close to about $15,000 was gone. And I was like, I've been thinking what happened. So I now had to go and do a recap of the video I made about using that wallet. And I realized that if you're watching the video, you get to pause it at the right time, you actually see my private key. I realized that was how my money was moved. So when it comes to security of a fund, you are the one in charge of the security. So you should actually understand backing up with your fund. You should understand that you shouldn't connect to any DAO that any what's it called any DApp that's a decentralized application that you're not very sure about, or that's probably not well audited, or you feel that it's probably risky, especially for users that are trying to look for airdrops and trying to follow all these airdrops model. Most of the airdrops models are fishy and they tend to have access they end up getting have access to your wallet. Some are to do even with probably you connecting to your to Wi-Fi's, open Wi-Fi's, probably at the airport. Stuff open Wi-Fi at the airport can easily be hacked. Anybody on that Wi-Fi can easily hack anybody on that same near Wi-Fi. So it is these are things to consider when it comes to decentralized model. If you're going decentralized, you understand that you are the one in charge of your funds. You're the one in charge of your privacy. So you should ensure that you, as much as you want to be self-sufficient, you should also provide a a data inflow for yourself that is also private to yourself. That's the thing. And I mean, those are major risks, especially when it comes to fund and when it comes to and for users that want to, let's say, launder money, it's going to be quite difficult for you to say you want to launder money. You can do it, yes, but you can't do it for a long time because the blockchain is an open ledger that makes it easy for any transaction to be able to track. They can track it. Even when it comes to Bitcoin, they can easily track your movement and track your location. I think the only network that's that is very very private centric, privacy centric is what's the name? Just keep my mind right now. Z, come on, just keep my mind. If I remember, I'm going to say it right.
Is it Monero?
Monero, yeah, Monero, yes, Monero. So Monero is actually one of the most private network right now. So if you probably want to go load that money, I think even the FBI are currently trying to find anybody that can hack Monero to be able to break the privacy. So I think for now, that's like the only most private network I would see on the blockchain. So aside that, you want to do your USDT and USDC wherever Bitcoin itself, they can easily track it. So you can it's very, very hard to launder money. So these are the risks involved. You're the one in charge of your money, you're the one in charge of your privacy, you are the one in control. So you should be responsible. That's what you need to be responsible for yourself and responsible for your funds. And that is the challenge we have with decentralization. Most people cannot be responsible for their funds. They cannot even be responsible for themselves, talk less of their money, right? So, and that is the beauty of now having an hybrid wallet. I think we tend to have hybrid wallet that you can give custody of the control of your funds to the wallet provider, and while you also have control. So you can easily, if you let's say you've lost control, you can probably doing some KYC, you can talk to your wallet provider to get your fund back to you. That's the other option for it, right? Using an hybrid wallet. But for me, I go fully what's it called decentralized. I don't like hybrid and core, except if I want to use hybrid, probably just for certain thing, probably investment or something like that. Aside that, I'm fully decentralized. That's me. I'm a core decentralized person. So that's like one of the major challenges that comes with decentralization: security, the risks, the hackings. Like we tend to have most of the smart contracts are not well audited, or probably audited, but they still have some bugs in between that. Because when it comes to computer languages, anybody can hack it. As long as it's on the internet, it's not safe. So most times, even when you create your funds, you create your wallet, all you need to do is get your wallet, your private public key outward that you can easily send funds to it. Then delete the wallet off your phone. Ensure that you back it up and delete it. That's the best way to be safe. That's the thing. So you need to be responsible for yourself and responsible for your money. That's like the thing. Now we have a challenge with people not being able to do that, but people need to take responsibility. Now, I think the option in terms of trying to mitigate that is developing protocols or developing custodial or hybrid, using hybrid wallets or hybrid protocols that can help you protect yourself against yourself. So, in case you're not able to protect yourself against yourself, probably can back you up or something like that. But the thing is, if your hybrid wallet or hybrid service provider get infiltrated or probably get hacked, then your money is gone. So that's the thing. So everything is risky. Waking up in the morning and stepping out of your bed is risky. Going out in the morning is risky. That's the thing. So just have to take the risk. So understanding the risks and taking it, and the bigger the risks, and you're able to overcome it, the higher the reward. That's just it.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. And I think I want you to is can you give us maybe an example of an hybrid wallet?
Okay. For hybrid wallet, currently we have there's Changey. Funny enough, we're working on partnership with Changey with Dexfiat. There's Changey. We have blockchain.com. Blockchain.com is also hybrid. And which other one? I think those are the two I can remember off my head right now, which are hybrid. And I think then this guy, I have a friend who works at BitPower. Also, they develop hybrid wallets and custodial and non-custodial wallets as well. So you can also BitPower also works with that. So BitPower, blockchain.com, and Changing. These are the ones I can remember for now.
All right. Okay. I mean that was super fantastic session. Thank you so much for sharing from your wealth of your knowledge to our
Thank you for having.
community. We thank you for your time and the value you've given us this evening. We really appreciate that.
Thank you for
So,
having me.
okay,
My
thank
goal is to add value as much as I can. So if I can, I would. Thank you.
Amazing. All right, guys. So thank you for joining us today. Please, if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, please hit on the subscribe button and do well to join us next week for another interesting session. You can type thank you in the comment box to thank our guest speaker today for coming to share from his wealth of knowledge to us. All right, see you guys next week, same time, same channel. Bye.
Bye.